I think the top advantage would be social interaction, because what sometimes tends to happen is branding, or let's say they get typecast. But in my experience, whatever I've seen is when children are with children, there's no bracket as such that this one is different or that one is different. So they get that kind of exposure when they are in a main school with other kids who probably don't have those kind of learning needs.
Riverdale International School is one such mainstream school. Located near Pune, it provides students with many facilities for academics as well as sports. It also has many students with learning disabilities.
First of all, when we're dealing them as a class, we refer to them as remedial children. We don't say that they're children with special learning developments or deficiencies. So remedial children, so the other children don't really make fun of them or say that they have deficiency in something.
In our school we have the remedial students. They don't really show much weaknesses in front of us, but we know that they are disabled in some ways.
Nobody even diagnoses them, so they are the dropouts.
In our own city of Mumbai, Colaba Municipal Secondary School, with around 2,000 students, was bound to have children with learning disabilities.
मेरा नाम दिनेश त्रिपाठी है। मैं कुलाबा बीएमसी सेकेंडरी स्कूल में हिंदी माध्यम में पढ़ाता हूँ, टीच करता हूँ। यस, कुछ बच्चे ऐसे होते हैं कि जो कंसंट्रेशन का उनका टाइमिंग जो होता है लर्निंग प्रोसेस में, वो बहुत कम टाइम के लिए होता है और वो परफेक्टली जो है उस चीज़ को, किसी चीज़ को अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर पाते और ज़्यादा स्टेबल नहीं हो पाते हैं। यस, अगर हम लोग क्लास में पढ़ाते रहते हैं और ऐसे बच्चों को हम फाइंड आउट करते हैं, ऐसे कुछ बच्चे होते हैं जो एक्स्ट्रा टाइप के वो एक्टिविटीज़ ड्यूरिंग टीचिंग पीरियड, ड्यूरिंग एजुकेशनल सिस्टम जो होता है उसमें अगर वो प्रॉब्लम करते हैं, तो हमें कुछ ऐसा डायग्नोसिस होता है कि अनडाउटली इस बच्चे के अंदर कुछ क्वालिटी उस टाइप की है। तो उसको पेरेंट्स को बुलाते हैं, क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है इनकी, क्यों ऐसा करता है, तो डायग्नोसिस करने का प्रयास हम लोग करते हैं।
However, in spite of this, many students in municipal schools remain undiagnosed.
लिखने में प्रॉब्लम जैसे कि कुछ जैसे जी लेटर लिखना पड़ता है, फॉर्मल इनफॉर्मल लेटर लिखना पड़ता है, तो उसमें थोड़ा दिक्कत होती है।
अच्छा, और जो Q और D आप लिखते हैं आपकी हैंडराइटिंग में, वो G और Q आप उल्टा लिखते हैं, तो ये कब से आपको प्रॉब्लम है? कितने, मतलब जब से लिखना शुरू किया तब से?
मैम सुधारने की बहुत कोशिश की, लेकिन तो भी मिस्टेक हो जाता है।
Unfortunately, Mahipal was one of the many students who had no idea about his disability and therefore was without the means to overcome it.
Like in our setup here, they have a different curriculum in grades 8, 9, 10. That's the NIOS board. So up to grade 7 they are following the ICSE curriculum, but then they move on to a different curriculum.
There are other schools like ours in Bombay, but what most so-called special schools do is that they mix disabilities. Here we only focus on LD, which is specifically your learning disability.
Okay. So what happened when did you switch?
I switched in the end of the 6th standard. I didn't get my 6th standard exams over there.
And what was it like did other students know about it? Or
everyone knew about it because there were 3 or 4 of us in that school, in my same class, who had it, and other students also had it in the whole school. That's why there were 2-3 remedial teachers over there that were providing remedial, but as I said again, it was not as good as the school because there was the same subjects, a lot of portion to complete, and it was getting too much of a problem.
how did you overcome your learning disabilities and become as successful as you are today?
Two corrections there. One, what is a learning disability? There's a learning difference. I don't think there's any such thing as a learning disability. There could be, but that's really acute, because disabled effectively means doesn't work. It means it can't work, it means something's wrong with it. Yeah? But learning differences is very different from disability. Perhaps the people who we call learning disabilities are people with learning differences because they learn differently. The truth is they can all learn something, right? So that 60 years ago, when I first went to class, I don't think anyone even understood words like learning differences or learning disability or dyslexia or any such thing. In fact, I don't think I knew too much about the word till about 5 or 6 years ago. I couldn't spell it. I'm not sure if I still can. But you were seen as someone who didn't study and conform the way the teachers expected you to conform and study. Because all education was in a box. I'm not very sure whether too much of that has changed today. I sometimes spend time with kids in learning differences schools where they're treated completely differently. But when you go to a normal school, most of them don't take cognizance of people who have learning differences. Because the expectation is, if you don't fit in that box, then there's something wrong with you. So, take a step back. Effectively, you were someone who was obstinate, you were someone who was stubborn. That was the starting point. So the answer to that was to get a foot ruler and whip you, or get a cane and cane you. Because the old belief was if you hit them hard enough, they would learn. Unfortunately, that didn't work because you can't hit someone who has a problem learning.
There have been many famous personalities who, in spite of their learning disabilities, have managed to make their mark on the world, such as Einstein, Newton, and Da Vinci. When it comes to learning disabilities, you can either look at the glass half empty or half full.